What's up, heroes of Arcasia? Henry here, back with another episode of Patch Notes with Henry. Today we're going to be covering the Holiday Awakening update. And as you can see, a little bit different today. I'm just going to do this from my desk. Got access to some of our QA builds. We're just going to hop in game in a little bit and I'll show you off some of the new content. This month has a bunch of different things kind of coming in. It's a bit of a collection month. We've got a bunch of things you probably will care about, though. Everything from new content to new progression events, new general fun events, and then also the latest Korean balance patch is going to be arriving, which I know a ton of players care about. So we'll go through all of that today. Let's dive in. We have some new content arriving in the game with this update. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of it here, and if any of it sounds interesting to you, there's going to be more detail in the written notes. So with that said, let's quickly cover three major pieces of content that's arriving. First up, we have Buzzling Island. It's a fun, new, whimsical island, bee, honey themed. There's some fun quests. There's going to be a new island soul, new Makoko seeds, and new competition where you turn into a bee and get to race. New controls, get to use the arrow keys, kind of similar to some of the fun events where you turn into a Makoko in the past. TLDR, fun event, kind of goofy, whimsical. There's some cool rewards though, so if you're into those types of adventures in Lost Ark, check out the section in the notes that talks about item level requirements, island location, and the hours that you can get in and check that new adventure quest out, Trial of Honor. It'll be fun. If you like bees or just collecting things in Lost Ark, it's for you. All right, next piece of content is going to be the North Kurzan Rapport system. It's going to add 3 NPCs, Mystic, Ren, and Tamut, who are some of the newer kind of characters you've encountered in your stories, venturing to both North and South Kurzan. There's going to be new dialogue, new quests. As you interact with those NPCs a bit more, you're going to be able to fill out the Adventurer's Tome. And then, of course, there's going to be some supporting systems added for that. Things like Rapport gifts being added to the Colvin Wandering Merchant, and also added to the North Kurzan Rapport Exchange NPC. So it should be fun for people that either enjoy getting to know more about the NPCs in Lost Ark, or just want to fill out their North Kurzan Adventurer's Tome and get the Enlightenment Point potion that is in that track. All right, the last kind of like new piece of content arriving in this update is an overhaul and new pet ability system. Pets are going to be able to learn abilities through ability training at the Stronghold Launch, with abilities available in 3 grades, Rare, Epic, and Legendary, which offer kind of increasingly powerful effects throughout those 3 grades. Abilities are specific to Security Division placements, with the Ranch providing some new like battle-related effects, the Farm focusing on farm-related effects, and the Dock supporting Stronghold activities like Dispatch and Craft. These abilities only activate when the pet is placed in one of those divisions that matches its ability type. You can check those pet's abilities in the new pet inventory or the security division. There's a bunch of details that kind of dive into how this system works. Things like the ability training process, the security division placement, the pet release system, and more in the full release notes. So if this is something that sounds really interesting, feel free to read through that whole section there. But just wanted to raise up that this is going to be a new kind of overhauled system that kind of deepens the way that you interact with pets, and should be fun for a lot of players. Just, you know, another kind of fun side system to engage with when you have a little downtime in the game. Let's quickly talk about raid balance. We'll talk about character balance a little bit later on, but when it comes to some of the Legion raids, we've reduced the HP of those raids just to make the re-clearing experience a bit easier. We know that that's something that is tough on players, trying to re-clear those raids and not wanting that kind of hard prog experience when plugging with random people week over week. So just to make homework a bit easier, the raids that are going to be adjusted are Belshazzar, Akan, Thamine, and then, I guess not really a Legion raid, but she is now a Legion commander. Spoiler alert, if you haven't played North Kurzan, just skip this part. But Echidna is also going to get an HP nerf, and all of those apply to both normal and hard mode. All right, let's talk about one of the biggest things in this update, which is going to be a pair of new progression events. There's going to be a Voldus Power Pass arriving, which is going to pair very well with the new Hyper Awakening Road event. This is going to be built to help players bring another character up to item level 1640 to kind of join their ranks or their roster at tier 4. It's going to give you a ton of juice. There's some pretty nice rewards in there. This is one of the things that I wanted to just kind of hop in game and show off. I'm going to be hopping into one of our QA environments, so you might see some kind of janky things. This is going to be a little behind the scenes look, just kind of an early look at that event, just so we can just show you firsthand what some of those rewards are going to be, since we know that's something that you all really care about, obviously really important. So yeah, let's hop in game and take a look. Cool. All right. So in the event UI, it's going to pop up just like a normal event does, kind of in this event section. This one's going to be Road to Hyper Awakening. It's going to be something that you can enable on one character on your roster from November 27th all the way through January 15th. You're going to be able to activate this on a character that is between item level 1540 and 1640. So if you have something at 1641, you can't activate it. But we know that there's some people that might have pushed a character to tier 4 already and don't want to bring a new character up, but want some rewards on an existing character. So we're going to allow that to be enabled at 1640. It's going to be the top end of that. It's going to be a normal kind of progression event that if you're a Lost Ark veteran, you're kind of familiar with. There's 2 categories of missions, and like I talked about, kind of behind the scenes look, we're missing some art here, some headers here, just some small things you'll notice that'll get cleaned up before you see it live in game. So down here, you're going to have reward chests that you earn as you progress through the event, as your item level progresses. I already have this character kind of leveled up to 1640 to show progressing all the way through, and we can claim some of those rewards, take a look through them. And then some of the main focuses of this event are going to be progressing through Ivory Tower. So there's going to be some missions up here that give you elixir rewards, and then also the other tab, progressing through Thamine, we're going to have a bunch of transcendence rewards in there. So since we're talking about that, let's go through it. When you clear the first gate, you're going to be able to get a set of transmuted elixirs that are just going to give you 40 set for the Lux set. And then from there, as you go through and clear more gates throughout the event, you're going to be earning more elixirs to tailor that set to whatever you want. But we hope this gives you a firm baseline, gets you, started on that system right away. And then Transcendence is going to function very similarly. This ticket that you get is going to give you Transcendence level 3 on all of your armor pieces, as you probably had in Ignite if you went through and made an Ignite character. Then as you clear additional gates in Thamine, you'll get some additional Darkfire, some of the restoration tickets to make that kind of a smoother experience all the way through there. But those aren't the only help you're going to get with Transcendence and elixirs, since we know it can be tough. There's some RNG involved in the system. There's also going to be additional rewards for those as you progress through some of these rewards. So the first chest is activated when you hit item level 1540. It's going to have your standard, honing materials, silver, some ancient accessories, that sort of thing. We can go ahead and claim that. Get those. It's going to have all of that here. You can pop it open on your character. Everything that you're used to getting as you progress through these events. The second one is going to function very similarly. It's going to be when you hit item level 1580. But some of the important things that are in this one are actually going to be that Icon gear selection chest. Super important. You'll be able to get that Icon gear and keep going through your honing journey. You're also going to get some gems, some level 8s, which is, super important as you set up your character. And, just super helpful as you progress through the game in general. From there, the next one's going to come in at item level 1600. This is where we're going to get some of that help with additional elixirs. You can see there, elixir supplies chest X3. It's going to have a bunch more honing mats, hopefully help you just progress naturally through the game. The goal is, for veteran players, they're going to kind of click through these hones really fast. But for someone that's maybe returning, activating this on a main they haven't played in a while, or someone that's just newer to the game, it's important to kind of learn these systems and go through them. No, it can be frustrating for a veteran who just wants to mash through all those hones as fast as possible. But got to keep the newer returning players in mind as well, and let them kind of experience these in waves, as they progress. Get these new chests, check out a new system, learn about elixirs, get some quality taps, some hones in along the way, and kind of progress through that whole thing naturally. So this one's going to be focused 1600 on the Voldis and Ivory Tower, of course. And then the next chest is going to come in at item level 1610. This one's going to be more focused on Thamine, since that's where you unlock Thamine normal, of course. It's going to have some more Darkfire. You can see also 100 armor restoration tickets to help you progress through and really lighten the cost of Transcendence on this character. Bunch more honing material chests, of course, to help get you through this entire experience. And then the final one's going to come in at 1620. This is going to layer in some of the content that you'll unlock there with Echidna and Behemoth. You can see some Behemoth scales, some weapon transcendence tickets, and some Agris's scales to help start the advanced honing process. From there, you're going to start unlocking some tier 4 materials, since 1620 is the breakpoint to enter tier 4. And of course, the one most people care about, the kind of juicy end of event reward, it's going to come with a bunch more tier 4 materials to kind of help you along that journey and get up to speed in tier 4, and include a selection chest for tier 4 gear, so you can kind of skip Kenuart Fortress. It's going to have some engraving recipes to help you, some selection 5 legendary selection cards to help you get up to speed with, LOS or Lost Cliff. And then tier 4 event gems, you're going to get 2 cooldown level 6 and then 2 damage level 6. And I know you've probably been waiting for me to hover this one. This is 4 giant gold bars, so it's going to give you 40,000 bound gold to help use some of these materials. Since we know players really care about some of this stuff, getting through Transcendence on maybe a character that hasn't done it yet, using this kind of stuff. That's why we wanted it to be enabled on a character that was 1640, in case you just, gone through that gear transfer experience. Obviously, you'll be missing out on some of the benefits from these lower level materials and stuff. But, we wanted to make sure that you have the agency to make that decision. So hopefully you'll have some room to play around, figure out what's right for you. If you're new or returning, this should help you get a main character set up and kind of join your friends in the end game. And if you're returning, you have some options of where you want to kind of plug and play with this event on your roster. But a really important part that I didn't mention before is some of the additional honing buffs and effects that you get throughout the course of this event. You can see here like Artisan's Energy X2, honing support. So you're not just getting all these materials, there's also going to be some support to make that honing experience a bit smoother. So let me talk through those buffs really quickly. So from item level 1540 all the way to 1620, you're going to have the double accumulation of Artisan's Energy, and then also a 100% increase in the basic honing success chance. So that means your chance to hit a hone is just doubled all the way from 1540 to 1620. On top of that, there's going to be XP material discounts. You know, when you infuse the XP into your gear when you're honing. From 1540 to 1580, you're going to get a 70% discount. And then from 1585, once you transfer to the Econ gear, all the way to 1620, you're going to get a 40% discount. For honing materials, kind of separate from that XP infusion, you're going to go from 1540 to 1580 is going to be 70% again. And then 1585 to 1620 is going to be a 40% discount. And then for gold, from 1540 to 1580, you're going to have a 100% discount, only uses silver. And then from 1585, once you transfer to that Econ gear, all the way to 1620 is going to be a 40% discount. So once again, you might miss out on some of those benefits if you're activating this on a 1640, but you'll still get the rewards, you know, the materials, progression mats. Just miss out on some of those honing buffs. So yeah, there's the event in a nutshell. So along with the progression events, there's going to be a fun seasonal event as well. It's going to be Toto's Ice Castle. It's going to be returning for the frigid months, available until the February update. You're going to be able to enter this one from the major cities, and you'll transform into Makokos when entering the castle. It's kind of a fun mini game where you kind of try to avoid broken tiles on the ground. There's ice on the ground, and the tiles break once you step on them. And then you'll want to break other snowflakes and stuff using some special skills while you're transformed into a Makoko. You're going to be able to enter every even hour, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., according to your server time, of course. And you're going to be able to enter once per roster per day. But you can also earn tokens, event tokens, by completing your dailies like Chaos Dungeons, Kurzan Front, or Guardian Raids. Those Feja tokens can be spent at the event shop, which has a ton of items. We can take a quick look at that if it's interesting. Let's hop in game again. So first off, you're going to be able to take your Feja's small stars and exchange those for Feja stars, and that's what's going to be in the second tab, is some of those extra special rewards. But here we've got some of the classics. There's a bunch of honing materials, elixirs. You'll be able to snag 100 Feons. There's some quality taps, honing books, and a lot of these are going to be roster limits just throughout the course of the event. There's, the classic Una stuff, some pirate coins, card packs. And then down here, you'll see we're adding the feasts back, of course. Players love the event feasts. Got to grab those before hopping in raids. And then on top of that, there will be an endless silver exchange this time around, since we know that's important for people that have an excess of tokens. So those are kind of the table stakes stuff, just to help with progression, help with our faster content cadence in the West. And a lot of this is going to pair really well with the progression event, just being able to layer in, if maybe you hit a stopping point, need to keep progressing, you'll be able to earn some of this organically as you play the game. Or if you want to earn it faster, hop in, play the fun mini game, and earn a bunch of rewards for doing so. And then in this tab, there's going to be a Leap legendary card selection pack. So all the new cards that were just added to the game, along with the old ones. So if you're still trying to fill out LOS, you can do that. If you have that filled out, you can start working on some of those new card sets, especially as, there's some new raids on the horizon that may use those card sets in the future. On top of that, you're going to be able to grab some luminous gem shards, roll those ancient accessories or relic accessories from A gear. There's some legendary combat engraving selections, some transcendence mats just to help progress through that a little bit. It's not a ton, but just, it is this kind of, each one of these is 3,000 gold. So hopefully it's a little bit of a help that pairs well with the event on top of that. Then there's going to be a couple special honing books that help you get all the way to item level 1660. You're going to be able to snag 6 of the armor books and 2 of the weapon books just for a little extra boost there. And then there's some dark fire as well to help out fill in any gaps in your transcendence. So it should be fun. A bunch of stuff to just kind of work on, help with progression. Yeah, there's a first look at the Buzzling Island event shop. quickly wrap up the events section, just going to run through a couple general updates. We've added a new daily login reward track like always, so keep logging in to get some fun new bonuses every day you come back. The Ignite servers and all related events are going to end, transferred and ended a few days ago, but all of that is going to be gone now, so we'll be transitioning over to some of these new progression events for players. The Light of the Abyss event is also going to come to an end with this update, along with the Chase the Storm event is going to also be closed up. All right, let's talk about store updates. First off, we have the Flopsy and Wolfsy skin set. Kind of a fun mix of some lifestyle skins with some animal elements. Let's check them out. So along with those cosmetics, we also have some new special Black Friday, Cyber Monday style bundles that are going to be in the shop just for 1 week only. There's going to be 3 bundles. The first one is going to be called the Golden Grab Bundle. That's kind of the deluxe bundle, kind of the high-end one with a bunch of serious discounts on items that we know players are excited about. It's going to have some crystals, card packs, it's going to have luminous gem shards and a bunch of honing materials, selection so you can use them for tier 3, probably tier 4. Also honing support chests like Lava's Breath and Glacier Breath. So that's going to be kind of the ultimate upgrade package. On top of that, we have the Harvest Bundle. That's going to be still a pretty versatile bundle. Maybe some lower item amounts in there. It's going to come in with crystals, luminous gem shards, ebony cube tickets, and a bunch of different honing materials as well. So that's another good one to kind of balance some progression, but also a bit more affordable for some folks. And then the final one is going to be called the Thrifty Thrills Bundle. That's going to be kind of the lower end bundle. It's going to have fewer crystals, fewer honing shards, fewer all honing materials, but still a great value for the price. Supposed to be kind of a fun group of packs with serious discounts. As everyone's doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, we wanted to add some into the game as players are looking to progress through tier 4. If you want to accelerate some of that, these are going to be a great bang for your buck. So another big part of the update that we know people were really looking forward to is going to be the latest balance patch coming in. Normally I do a buff nerf for a bunch of the classes, but this balance patch is super comprehensive. It touches almost every single class. There's a few that it doesn't, but for the most part, almost every class got some form of update. And for some of the classes like one spec, formerly a class engraving, their enlightenment tree might have changed a little bit for other classes, and for the other spec it might have been a nerf versus a buff. So it's hard to do just a full list of nerfs and buffs for all the classes. So for this part, I'm going to direct you to the full notes. I would go check it out. There's a ton of changes. Make sure to read through and see what's changing for your class. For a lot of them, it's a buffs, but there are a few nerfs in there. So make sure to check that out in the full written release notes. All right, that's going to be it for this episode of Patch Notes with Henry. Really appreciate you for tuning in. Hopefully these are helpful. Try to do something a little bit different with this one. Just a long Henry Yap session, hopped in the game, that kind of stuff. Super open to feedback as always. Please leave a comment, engage with the YouTube video in the comments. Really helpful for us. We try different things. We want to, stay agile, whatever works best for the community. We love Lost Ark. We love the Lost Ark community. So yeah, give us a like, a subscribe, as the video folks probably want me to say. Flying solo right now though, so just guessing. But feel free to do that. Leave us a comment once again, and I'll end on a community question. Obviously with the balance updates, the new progression event, kind of an opportunity to try out a new play style, try out a new character, especially, entering into tier 4 where the way those characters function is going to be completely different. Let us know what you're going to make. I need some suggestions. I'm going to read through the comments. If I see an overwhelming, majority leaning on one character, maybe I'll try it out. So let us know in the comments what you're looking forward to make with these events, or what you're excited to try out with all those new balance changes. We appreciate you. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you in Arcasia.